Hey everybody, welcome to the V Power Click. I'm Vladimir from V Power.
And I'm Ryan from Click.
And today we're going to discuss diabetes. So, to kick things off, there's two types of diabetes. There's type 1, type 2. Type 1 seems to be more genetic. So if someone in your family has type 1 diabetes, you're more likely going to get it. Type 2 is the more common one, and there seems to be a link between the more body fat you have, or the more obese you are, you're more likely to have diabetes. That's not saying if you're fat, you're going to get diabetes, because there are people who are quote unquote skinny and have diabetes. So, what does that mean? It means control your eating so you don't run the risk of getting diabetes. So, one of the things that I tell my clients all the time, and I'm pretty sure you tell your clients all the time, is you have to track what you eat. Not just track how much of it you're eating, but what you're eating as well. So, because a lot of times people think it's just a whole bunch of sugar and stuff like that. True, somewhat true, but that's incomplete. I think you were talking about it earlier. Energy balance, how frequently you're eating, how many calories, this, that, and third. So I'll ask you, because you've been in the field longer than I have, what do you see in terms of eating that causes your clients to go astray?
Well, how the food is prepared, one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a major one. A lot of people want food fast and they don't want to go through the troubles of cooking, or they don't want to go through the troubles of figuring out. What they don't know is a lot of the pre-packaged foods have a lot of sodium, a lot of salt in it, and preservatives, and these same preservatives inside of the food is what's also responsible for having your body hold on to a lot of the calories they take in, and a lot of the other stuff that is inside of the food that your body cannot process or your body cannot get rid of so easily. So it's literally being preserved inside of your body. Along with that, we have imbalance on what is consumed. So
You eat too much of something that's bad.
yes, too much of anything is not good. So you want to find a balance. We need sugar, we need starches, we need protein, we need fats, we need all of it, and we need the minerals, vitamins and minerals that we have the essentials and the non-essentials, where your body produces some and you can get it naturally, and others where your body doesn't produce it and you have to get it from food.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not getting a good balance of any of these things, if anything is offset too greatly, it causes problems in your body. And one of the most common things that are problems for people who increase their risk of diabetes is their sugar intake, their carb intake, which technically is sugar intake again, starches, and also, but not yet fully there as a cause, is fat intake. The type of fats that don't break down in the body, it stays solid, or it solidifies at room temperature. If that's inside of your blood vessels, it increases chances of clogged arteries and things like that.
Right. So in other words, stop eating bad stuff. Like, we know personally, like, even if you don't know like healthy alternatives for some things, we all know eating a fast food burger, eating fries, drinking a milkshake from a popular fast food chain, like, you shouldn't be having that every day. I'm not saying you can't have any of those things, but everything needs to be done in moderation. We live in a society where it's all or nothing, and it doesn't have to be that, right? Listen, I'll tell you personally, hey, I like to go out with my friends, have a drink here or there, but I don't have to get drunk every single time I go out. Moderation. Hey, I just had pizza, okay? Love pizza. I don't have it every day. I don't have more than 2 slices. I'm a big guy, I can have 2 slices, all right? Don't judge me. But, you know, like 2 slices, it's rare that I eat pizza on a week-to-week basis anyway. Last time I had pizza was like a couple months ago, right? But it's moderation. And the thing that gets to that I learned this by watching this guy named Alan Roberts, right? He's also a trainer, and he says something that not a lot of trainers talk about. It's people have a bad relationship with food, right? A lot of times people are eating because of stress. A lot of people are eating because they're happy or get too excited. Oh, I just got, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna go eat a tub of ice cream because you know what? Treat yourself. No, you can treat yourself, but you don't have to go overboard.
Oh, one other thing, fidgeting. Same way as we do a lot of other things when we're bored or so, we fidget, we also eat, we snack, and all of that stuff. Sometimes that gets out of hand because we're not aware of how much we're consuming. When we're not eating our regular meals, we'll be like, oh, it's just a bag of chips. Oh, it's just a candy bar. Oh, it's just, all of these, oh, it's just a little bit. We end up having a lot of different serving size in a day of snacks, of sugars, of foods, of breads, of all of it, right? And it can easily get out of hand and we not even recognize or notice.
Right. So one of the things is like people don't understand how important it is to be aware of diabetes. Diabetes is one of the leading killers in America, according to the American Diabetes Association. So in other words, yes, there are people who have type 1 diabetes, and that's very rare to have, right? I think about 80% of the people who have diabetes have type 2. Don't quote me on the statistics, but I believe last time I checked that was the number. But either way, it's a large majority of the people who have diabetes have type 2 diabetes, in which in most cases it's avoidable, because even though you may have the potential to get it, you're increasing your risk every time you say, hey, I'm 5'2", I'm 230, and I'm going to go to McDonald's after the gym. That makes no sense to me whatsoever, right? So one of the things that is going to help is track your eating. There's a lot of, it's 2019, it's about to be 2020. There are a lot of tools out there to help you track your eating. Yeah, it's tedious, but what's more important? You saying, hey, oh man, I gotta log this in, or hey, if I log this in, I can track what I'm eating, I could make sure I'm not overeating, not going over calories, not eating too much of one thing, and be healthy and decrease my risk. Or just like, no, it's too much, I'll just eat whatever, I'll think about it. It's like what you said not too long ago, like we eat snack here and there, not really think about how much we really eating. Like if you eat a candy bar, right, a small candy bar, you're like, oh, it's only a small candy bar, but you look at the bag, it's like 120 calories, and just like, that's 120 calories that you didn't have to eat, and it didn't serve a purpose except, oh, it killed my sweet tooth. In most cases it does. I'm like, man, damn, wish I had another one, I should have bought 2. Now it goes from 120 to 240, and another one, 240 to 360, and it keeps building up. And all you have was 3 little candy bars, but those add up.
Should I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
We go to the movie theaters. A lot of times we have the drinks. You see how those oversized drinks, they're sweet, they're good and whatnot, but because they're so sweet, you want to have something that is contrasting to the sweet. So you have the popcorn. The popcorn is overly salted, overly buttered. If it's not popcorn, it's pretzels. Everything is just overly buttered, overly salted. And if you really check how much is inside of it, if you are to pour out the fat that is inside of it into a container, you'd be surprised.
Disgusting.
Yes, and the sugar. But it's the whole back and forth between sweet and salty, sweet and salty. And so they sell you these large portions and say this is normal. And so you're like, oh, I gotta do this. And next thing you know, you're doing it 1 movie, 2 movies a week, 3 movies a week. And this does get out of hand because after eating back and forth between these, it doesn't leave you satiated with hunger. Your hunger is not satisfied. It's just temporarily assuaged, but you've just consumed so much of empty calories and not healthy calories.
Exactly. And then on top of that, like, we eat a lot of processed foods.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I love sandwiches. I think I make a great sandwich, okay? Turkey, cheese, mayo, lettuce, tomato, a little salt and pepper, a little seasoning here and there, on wheat bread. But you think about the delis, those are processed foods, right? So when I mean processed foods, there's stuff in it other than a piece of turkey, right? And then we're in a society where we eat a lot of processed foods. And that can contribute to the diabetes. That's going to contribute to the overeating of stuff that shouldn't even be in our bodies, you know. But again, like I said, you got to take things in moderation. And if you're one of those people who have a bad relationship with food, it sounds weird, but maybe you need counseling. And counseling is not a dirty word, but it's just like going to a personal trainer. He's going to guide you through your fitness journey. You go to a counselor because they can guide you through whatever it is you're going through, because they know how to break certain habits in that way if you need the help. But again, diabetes is a real, like, it's one of those things where it's a disease, it's real, but people don't really see it. People don't have the awareness, because it's not one of those things like breast cancer or Alzheimer's or anything like that. Yeah, it's not those things, because some of those things you just get, right? Like, but diabetes is just as real. And again, like I said, it's one of the leading killers in America.
Here's what the issue is. Whoops. All right. When it comes to diabetes, we're unaware of the impact that it has on society. It is an epidemic. It is at an epidemic level.
Mm-hmm.
That obesity is prevalent in our nation, not only in our nation, in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It says that there's a major bolstering of obesity in children, and you find a lot more children with diabetes type 1 and type 2,
Mm-hmm.
of which they said that some of it would be hereditary, but it isn't so much hereditary in the sense that you're guaranteed to get it. What it says is that the likelihood of you getting it, if you're not taking care of yourself, is that much more higher for you to get it. Right. So the likelihood of you getting it, if you don't take care of yourself, increases, right? And so a lot of times they say it is, in the family. What is in the family isn't the ability to get it alone, but rather the habits of eating, right? We have what we call soul food. We like to eat good, we like to eat healthy, we like to eat healthy as in
big portions.
Abundance, right?
2 plates.
Yeah. We have our candied yams, we have our sweet potatoes, we have the pumpkin pies, we have this, we have that. We have so many different foods that are highly rich in starches that we say these are staples, right? And then on top of that, we have our snacks, we have our breads, we have our pastries, we have cookies, we have this, right? And the abundance of all of this and the ready availability of it and easily access to it is definitely causing a problem, especially in today's society in which we're like, we're on the go, we just need something quick, we need something to hold us until lunch or dinner. We grab some snack, right? Biggest way to prevent this from getting out of hand is finding smarter alternatives. Like,
I won't say just smart alternatives, because again, a lot of people know what they should and shouldn't eat.
yes.
To some extent, right? Some people just have a bad relationship with food. Some people are stress eaters. Some people like to eat, I'm alone, I'm not doing anything, so I'm just going to eat half a tub of ice cream or with hot fudge. That sounds good. hot fudge and a brownie. But the issue is, like I said, there's no moderation, like we were saying before. So like it's not just finding healthy alternatives, because one of the things I tell a client of mine is, if you ate 3,500 calories in a salad, you still ate 3,500 calories, which is still a pound, right? You shouldn't be eating that much for whatever your size is, right? So again, it is tracking what you're doing. And if you do like to eat a little bit more, how can you offset that? Like you said before, eat little by little, but more frequently. That's one way. Another way is go exercise. What happens when you exercise? You burn calories. And a rule of thumb is whatever you burn, you should put back, but with healthy choices. You know, so if I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to go lift and I'm going to go run on a treadmill and all of that, I should go eat something to replenish my energy stores with something healthy though. You know, like I'll go, one of the things I'll do is I'll get a grilled chicken salad after the gym, because I like grilled chicken salads because it's delicious, but it's a healthy choice. You know, another example is like yesterday, I went to the gym, came back, had myself some grilled salmon, spinach, and broccoli. Now, it doesn't have to be plain and vanilla like that. You can make something else, but it just has to be a healthy alternative. Like, the craziest thing I've heard is like, and I've said it already, is somebody I know went to the gym. Oh, where are you about to go? Or where are you going to go eat? Oh, I'll probably go like McDonald's or something. I'm like, why would you go there? You defeat the whole purpose of what you just did in the gym.
They had a sale.
They had a sale, 2 Big Macs for $5 or something like that. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. You don't even need to eat all of that. Like your goal is trying to lose weight. You just worked out for an hour. Let's be generous and say you burned 500 calories during that whole session. You're gonna eat a Big Mac or a Whopper or a Wendy's chicken sandwich, whatever it is, and you're gonna
900 to 1,300
calories. 1,300 calories. So those 500 calories you just burned just went to nothing. And then if you're already at high risk of diabetes, you just made your risk higher because you want to go get fast food. You know, and I understand a lot of people can't cook, right?
Or don't have the time.
Or don't have the time to cook. But there's other options. You can meal prep. Some things don't even have to be cooked. You just grab some stuff and put it to the side. You know, like you could go to the
variety
deli.
of nuts, variety of dried fruits.
Right.
You want to have slow release options. You could even grab a fruit. Those are quick options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or even you go to the supermarket, whichever state you're in, whatever your big supermarket is, whether it be Publix, Stop and Shop, ShopRite, whatever, right? They have a deli. They have grilled chicken already there, lined up, ready to go. It's not, so you have options. My thing is, weigh your options and weigh your pros and cons, because I know one of the things is like, well, I can't afford that. Well, you spending money on fast food all the time is expensive as well. So you need to find out where you can put your money and how you want to eat, because at the end of the day, we have one life to live, right? YOLO. And what's more important? Living as long as you can to fulfill whatever dreams that you want to fulfill, whether it's, you know, building a business, building something for your family, this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, nobody wants to die prematurely.
Well, I will rebut that. Only just for the purpose of playing devil's advocate,
okay,
and for creating something new.
Okay.
Okay? I've had many people who come to me and say, what's the point of dieting? What's the point of eating healthy? And then you don't enjoy the food, and then you know, so you live longer, but you live miserable. I'd rather live a shorter life, but enjoy all the foods that I love.
Okay, with that, I would say this. No one's telling you to eat stuff to make you miserable, because I don't believe in eating to be miserable. I eat stuff that I like. But then, like I said, there's moderation, right? I love pizza, okay? New York pizza is delicious, okay? But I don't eat it all the time, because I don't need to eat it all the time, right? What else?
I have a strange thing to say.
What?
A lot of times, a lot of it is stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
We assume that there is no such thing as good tasting healthy food.
Mm-hmm.
So we assume the stereotype is if you want healthy food, if you want good tasting food, it's going to have to be unhealthy.
Yeah, wrapped in
right?
bacon, cooked in
And
vegetable
butter,
oil.
cooked in butter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of that. Yes, it tastes good and yes, it tastes great and whatnot, but that is not the only thing that tastes great. I've seen there are lots of chefs out there, there are lots of restaurants out there that prepare very amazing vegan and vegetarian meals that I've never said this before in front of a camera, but they made me question my liking of meat. And trust me, I love meat.
But listen, that's true. Like there's you have to open your mind to different things. You know, like I'm never gonna say, hey, I'm never gonna eat vegan or vegetarian or whatever type of meals because you don't know what it tastes like. Because once you say no, I don't want that, you actually like limit your options, and that's why people get miserable. Well, I'm not gonna sit there. I love my steak. No one says you can't eat steak, but you don't have to eat it every day. Like even if you love steak, even if you love steak and the proteins in steak are good for you, and all the other nutrients that come with steak, you don't have to eat it every day. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't be eating a steak every day because it's bad for your heart. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, moderation. Water's great for you. You drink too much water, you can, you get diarrhea and all those other things, right? So everything in this world has to be in moderation. Nothing has to be all or nothing, right? So with that being said, like, am I saying drink, hey, today you've been you did great today, go drink a 2-liter soda? No, don't drink a 2-liter soda. You don't have to drink a 2-liter soda. Like, what's the purpose of drinking a whole 2-liter soda? But am I saying you can't have any soda at all? If you want soda, by all means, go ahead and have some, a little bit. Chill, don't overdo it. But you can have a soda. Like, I don't really drink soda because I've learned, like, by cutting it out, I've learned I don't really want soda like that. It tastes good, but it's not a big thing for me to not have it. If they stop making soda, I'd be fine, right?
That's you. Many of
But that's
people
me.
disagree with you.
I understand that, but that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times we don't even give it a chance. Like we don't even try to say, hey, let me stop doing this for a while. And the thing about it is, and that's where diets come in, right? And I know it sounds like we're jumping around or whatever, but these all correlate together. Like, especially when it comes to diets, because that's where people are having an issue, right? Oh, I'm going to do this diet, the Atkins diet, the keto diet, vegetarian, the Beyonce diet. She went vegan for X amount of months, this, that, third. The problem with that is you're not sticking to it. That's why I always, say lifestyle change. Lifestyle change is going to help you decrease the risk or increase the risk of diabetes, depending on which choices you make. So, living a healthier lifestyle is not a miserable lifestyle, That's why I say, and if you're not sure of where to go, you can Google. I'm afraid to say go Google it because there's a lot of misinformation out there, right? But at the end of the day, you can find a professional that can help you, right? You look, just like I said, if you're looking for somebody to accomplish a particular goal, get a professional.
Consider getting a registered dietitian.
There you go, a dietitian.
Registered dietitian will prepare you or give you even more detailed information about what it takes for you personally when it comes to what should you be eating and shouldn't you be eating, and how food affects your body.
Right, because everything affects everybody differently.
Yes.
Like, there's people out there who can't have a sandwich with wheat bread because they have a gluten allergy, right? I'm telling you, he's missing out on that cracked wheat, baby. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just
Who says wheat is healthy if I die?
Who said wheat isn't healthy? But again, you have a gluten allergy, right?
Yeah.
Well, possibly, right? I don't have that. So I can have the sandwich with the wheat bread, etc., etc. You can't. So you would probably get like sprouted grain bread or something like that, which is something completely different, and it works for you. So just because, and that's why my biggest beef with diets, we're not even getting into it, but that's why when people say this is the best diet, I'm like, for you. it doesn't mean that's the best diet for somebody else, because everybody is a little different. This is why why people have customized meals for themselves, because there's things they can't eat and things they can eat. Like if you have high cholesterol, right, there's certain things you can't eat. If your cholesterol is okay or whatever, then there's certain things you can have that somebody with high cholesterol cannot. If you're at risk of diabetes, there's certain things you can't have that other people can eat. It all depends on your body, and like you said, go to a registered dietitian. You can Google that. You can Google one in your area or whatever, and have a sit down, talk, and find out what's going on. Because at the end of the day, right, you only have one life, we have one vessel. We need to take the best care of it as much as we possibly can for whatever your reason is. Like mine is, I want to live as long as I can for my family, and provide for them in the ways that I can, on top of accomplishing my goals and my dreams. So for me to do that, I got to make sure I'm healthy. If I'm sick, I can't help anybody, I catch diabetes, now I gotta get a foot amputated. I'm not gonna be that efficient at my job anymore. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's your life, and you can do whatever you want. But if you want to live longer, a healthier life, because there's people that live longer who are miserable. But if you want to live a longer life, a healthier life, like there are things that you have to do. You have to eat right. You have to exercise. And exercise doesn't always mean going to the gym. Exercise means, hey, I could just go for a walk. Hey, I'll go pick up my kids from school, walk the dog 2 hours a day or an hour a day, whatever the case is. And that by itself is activity that keeps the body in motion. It's simple physics, guys. The body in motion stays in motion. Unless stopped by an immovable object or a stumble force or whatever the case is. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, if you get hit by a car.
If you get hit by a car. I mean, you still be moving, just not in the direction you thought you were moving. Unless,
for a moment,
no, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, you were saying?
One good thing to talk about in this moment is what would help someone be anchored in their mission to be healthy or to eat healthy, because a lot of people, they're faced with, I tried, I wanted to eat healthy, I wanted to make change, but I just can't, right? So what are some tricks and tips that you suggest that would keep them in the game of what they say is important or urgent to them?
Oh, it's a big word. It's the A word. You know what the A word is? It's accountability, right? You have to be accountable for your actions. You have to realize, like, yo, I'm responsible for X, Y, and Z. But
I thought it was ass.
But that's the thing, right? Accountability. And what that means is I'm responsible for what I do. I'm responsible for what I say. I'm responsible for what I put in my body. And I'm not giving no excuses to why I eat X, Y, and Z. Like I said, I had pizza today. So what? But one of the things that's going to help you stay accountable is get an accountability partner. Get somebody who you know is going to be on your ass about, hey, you shouldn't be eating that. Hey, like when I first started working out, stuff like that, I have a coworker. And some days I would be like, I don't think I'm going to the gym. And she would be like, word? You just not going to go to the gym? You just not going to do X, Y, and Z? I'm like, oh, whatever. F it, I'll go. And I would go. So get an accountability partner. Get somebody.
What about those people who feel they don't have an accountability partner, or they don't have anybody in their life to do that?
Find one. Because there are a lot of people out there around you in your circle that you can look up to, you can have as an accountability partner. And it sounds weird, but if you already go, I'll just use an example. If you already go to the gym, right? You see somebody who's in there all the time. You know what, damn, I see this person here all the time. Have a conversation with that person. Say, hey, and I know it's like, oh my God, especially in New York, like, oh, you're just gonna walk up to somebody and say, hey? Yes! Yes, like, hey, I see, and if you can, and this is like the last resort, you can't find anyone to be an accountability partner. You go to the gym already, talk to somebody, talk to a coworker, talk to a close friend and say, hey, I need you to keep me accountable to my goals and my actions. Now, when I say get an accountability partner, that does not mean that person is responsible for you. That person is a support system, not a crutch, okay? You still have to be responsible for what you do, what you say, and what you eat. But you can find an accountability partner. Maybe your mom, your brother, sister, father, grandma, granddad, kids. Some people have their kids as an accountability partner, you know, like a co-worker, the chick or dude that's at the front desk at the gym, you know, like you can talk to somebody because there's people in this world who are willing to be an accountability partner.
Chick is politically incorrect.
Yeah, so I'm not changing the way I speak because people want to get offended. I don't care.
People will be offended.
That's fine. But I'm accountable to what I say, and if people want to get offended, that's a whole other topic. We're not going to get into that.
I'm just saying.
But get
you're
yourself.
gonna cut this out.
But get yourself an accountability partner, someone you can, because I don't care what you say. Everybody has at least one confidant, someone they confide in, where they tell everything to. Because we as social creatures, usually we have at least one confidant. Make that person your accountability partner.
I think that a lot of people would agree with you, but then there are a lot of other people who wouldn't, because even if they do have those people, they don't see that as a possibility for them as accountability partners. So if you don't want to go the realm of having an accountability partner, what other things do you think can keep them in the conversation of or inside of their vision for themselves? I find personally measuring it. Sometimes if I say that I'm going to do something, record that I'm saying it, that I'm going to do something. Have it play for me every day. That every day it reminds me, hey, you said you're going to do that. You can be your own accountability partner. We have smartphones, or so we can have a timed alarm saying exactly your played recording of what you say to yourself. Remind yourself, this is why I'm doing it. Create something that anchors you into why you're doing it. Sometimes you doing it for yourself, or you doing it to fix yourself, keeps you out of the game because you think that you're broken. You need to change the conversation, shift the focus, because if that is your focus, it is a very, very rough game. So what would make this game easier is not a conversation about fixing yourself, or not a conversation related to the way you see yourself as broken or damaged or needs work, but rather create a goal, create something that is measurable, and say, attach something of importance to you obtaining that goal, right? And create sub-goals. So if you say you want to lose 10 pounds, every 2 pounds, you're committed to something for someone else out there that will benefit from it. So you winning is someone else's victory as well. Those are one conversation that empowers. Let's say you have a niece, a nephew that wants something grand, and you have the ability to give it to them, right? Make it a win for you and them. Make it a win for you and someone else. Make it a win, right? And challenge yourself that way to win. Not looking at all the other stories that you've been working from before that stops you.
Right. Exactly, yeah. Be your own source of motivation. That's it. So, I mean, that's all I got for the whole topic of diabetes. But just to recap, just listen, guys. At the end of the day, you're responsible for what you put in your body. You're responsible for how you move your body. You're responsible for how you rest your body. And if you have diabetes in your family, whether it be type 1, type 2, just know it doesn't mean you're going to get it, but you're at risk. And for those who
have it already, don't think of it as this is the end, because there are many people who have it, but they don't live as if they are it.
Right.
If your lifestyle changes, your dependency on the medication shifts as well. the effects of the sickness also shifts as well. It's being proven that you take care of yourself, you are more active, you reduce the effects that it have on your body. So take that into consideration.
So thanks everybody for watching. Just the last message I want to tell you guys is let's just be a better version of ourselves and let's just keep progressing